Hey! Welcome to Sportsball. How's it going, everyone?
It's going well, Tyler. How's it going with you?
It's going great. I'm very excited to be doing this show after a long holiday weekend. Hopefully you guys had a really good Thanksgiving. I'm your host, Tyler Coe, joined by...
Joel Heyman.
And...
Brandon Farmini. I haven't been on this side in a while, and it's really messing with my head.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't know where to put my stuff.
Is it like when a left fielder is forced to play right field? It's
it's weird.
I can't play right field. I only play left field. You're just catching balls, dudes.
Yeah,
You're just catching balls.
but it's
how
completely different.
hard can it be?
It's completely different because you're stepping across your body.
We can't start off the show with you talking about how hard something isn't, because you get into a habit of doing that, and then we piss off country, people, places, cities, states, stuff like that. So to start off, first of all, if anybody watched last week's episode, which I hope all of you did, we kind of talked about what's going on with the show right now, which is that not necessarily that the show is in trouble, but we need better viewership, and we need you guys to kind of help us out.
It's not that the show's in trouble, just us personally as human beings are in trouble.
Yeah.
Clearly. Obviously, we all have some big issues. So a lot of you took to Reddit, you took to Twitter, the sites, and I want to say thank you so much for all the comments. All of the feedback was really, really good. We got some really good ideas.
Yeah, I think the one we like the most is a movie of the week.
A movie of the week? Yeah.
Movie of the week.
Yeah, we should do something like that, Brandon. That joke is hilarious. Thank you for that. But no, seriously, we had a lot of comments, and basically what we got out of it is that you guys want more content. You want us to talk about more sports, not just kind of the big ones that are the American ones that we usually talk about. And, we do that for, practical reasons, just because that's kind of our bread and butter. That's what's prevalent and relevant right now. But we're going to get more into that.
After football season, the entire show is just going to turn into like a user-generated content.
Pretty much, yeah. But we're looking to bring in more people that are experts in the field of soccer and hockey and international sports. So we just want to let you guys know that we're hearing everything that you guys are saying, and we're working on it. We got our top men on it.
People like cats as well. I would suggest a good amount of cat memes.
Oh, we should have like a mascot, right? It would be like a sports meme.
That's way more relevant.
We ran into that dog.
We ran into that dog.
Maybe we could hire the dog for
Marnie the dog. The dog had a stroke or something.
I think it was, concussions.
It's something like that. It's serious business. Yeah, don't joke about that. But maybe I would say like a rooster or a chicken would be a better mascot.
But they like kind of poop everywhere. But we kind of poop everywhere too.
I was attacked by a rooster once.
You were.
I was attacked.
We're gonna have to talk about that on another show.
Let's talk about what's on your sheet.
We have a lot to talk about today. It was a crazy weekend, and a lot of you guys want us to give a kind of a rundown for the show. We don't have that today, but I can tell you what's on the docket. I can tell you football is, basketball, Canadian football.
Wow, really?
We have a little bit of baseball news, and of course hockey.
Yeah, baseball really doesn't pick up until the winter meetings, which I think are
coming up.
Yeah,
they're coming up. And next week we have a huge NHL segment coming up, which is it's going to be a huge NHL segment. So
I don't want to give away any secrets.
We promise all you NHL fans are going to love it.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
It's going to
blow you away.
We should have a winter meetings episode. I swear to God, there's no sport where you have more changes in like a 5-day period than winter meetings in baseball.
It's pretty crazy. It's just people going left and right.
Literally, just as we started the show, the mediocre pitcher that we talked about during baseball season, David Price, was signed $217 million, $30 million a year, 7 years, Red Sox, mediocre pitcher.
We are going to have to get into that.
Playoff pitcher. Mediocre playoff pitcher.
Yes, we'll get into that a little bit more. Always have to remind you guys about our stat guy who's in the field all the time, doing the hard work, getting us all the crunching the numbers and getting all those factoids that we ask him for. Factoids. And we have to go to him right now. Cole, you know Cole so well. Cole, where are you today? Actually, hold on before we tell people, because I asked people online. I asked people online, like, where should we send Cole? Because, so much happened this past week.
Serious answers back.
Tons of stuff. And there was a lot of stuff that happened last night. It was pretty unanimous about where people wanted him to go, even though 3 people did tell him, like, go to hell. Like, that's where we should
send
Cole.
And that's where we sent him. And that's where he's right now.
He's in hell. Cole, where are you today?
Hell.
You're in hell?
Yeah. Or actually the Factory of Sadness, which is Ohio.
Oh, man.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, it's Cleveland.
That's Cleveland.
Cleveland is hell.
Cleveland is hell last night. And that's not like us trying to dig like the Browns or Cleveland or like make fun of them.
Yeah.
But last night,
it's like an experiment in sadness.
Last night was just absolutely insane. If anybody happened to catch the Monday Night Football game, and I'm sure all of you were like aware of it, like because it's a huge game, Browns Ravens.
And it came down to the last play of the game, and a kicker. I don't know if we should blame the kicker. Was it the trajectory of the kick? They lose the game. Browns lose the game on the last play, and a kicking.
It was a kicking thing. Again, how many times this year we talked about it? This has been the year of the kicker. So many missed kicks, punts have decided games. And instead of us, why don't we just take a look at what happened last night? 27-27. Browns have a chance to win this thing, and they're going to kick a pretty long field goal. It's about 50 yards. Take a look at this. And you're thinking, what's the worst that could happen? It's only Cleveland. So it gets blocked, but it's fine. Just tackle him, right?
It's fine. Here, he's got a chance. This guy's got a chance right here.
Just push him out of bounds.
He doesn't have. It's a lineman. He's not going to catch him. Oh my God!
And it's like it's so like shocking, but it's not shocking because it's
How are you
Cleveland.
going to put that on the kicker though?
If you've ever heard,
I'm not putting it on the kicker. I'm just putting it on. It's just like a Cleveland thing to happen. Cleveland.
If you've ever heard 50,000 people at the same time go, "Oh no," that's what the audio was like.
Yeah, you want to hear a moment like that? Look up the Albert Pujols home run. I think it was in 2005 against the Astros. The Astros were a pitch away from going to their first World Series, and they were at home. And like Pujols just hit a bomb.
That ball is still going, man.
That ball's still going. And then it's just all of a sudden it's just
the difference now, though, is that now we have cameras in the stadium.
Yes, we do.
All over the place.
Yes, we do.
And the best thing about this is the reaction of the fans in the stadium. It was fantastic.
Well, it's unbelievable because you would think for the Browns, like it would be something like that, like just an audible, like, oh, this. No, there's like you hear a pin drop because these people are just numb to this kind of shit. Like this, and I'm not trying to like dig on Cleveland, but like you guys are used to it. You're used to this sort of thing. Like this shocked no one.
Yeah, it's sad.
And there's this video last night, absolutely hilarious. We're going to show it right now. This basically sums up like the entire history of the Browns and how fans feel about them. Because here's the return and the kick right now. Just take a listen to this audio.
I hate the Browns so goddamn much.
Wow, when you have the ability to rip those jerseys, the material that those jerseys are made of is a serious material. When your hate is that high where you can rip a jersey off, that is impressive loss.
They're not cheap either. Reaction videos, I think, sometimes are just as good as the games themselves. Someone filmed a reaction video during LeBron's decision. Way back when, where you just have like an entire bar in Cleveland.
What city? Oh, it was Cleveland?
In Cleveland, watching
was this the second
announcement.
Time or the first time?
This is the first time when LeBron decided to go to South Beach. You just have like a bar full of people, and it's just like, ah.
Reaction videos are amazing.
Videos are amazing.
I think one of the greatest ones.
Every single one's like, oh, disappointment. Oh, I'm in Cleveland. I mean, it's just sort of.
That's the worst part. It's like you can't escape it. You can't escape the factory of sadness. So Cleveland, we're sorry. It really sucks, but somebody put it in perspective last night at the game. They had a sign hanging over like the sidelines. It says, "At least we got LeBron back." You're right. At least you got that. That is the silver lining.
The least the Browns can do. Sometimes like the team wins or loses, they give everybody in the stadium like one free thing.
Yeah.
If the team loses like that, they should give everybody in the stadium complimentary bus passes out of Cleveland. Like they work out a sponsorship with Greyhound.
Yeah, one way.
I don't think they have an airport there.
No,
I'm not sure.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do. So Cleveland, I mean, that is rough. And I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but if you guys have never seen the reaction video to Landon Donovan scoring the game-winning kick against Algeria, I believe, in the 2010 World Cup, that'll like make you cry.
Really?
Like fans across the country, like in bars all over the USA and the globe, like reacting to that kick. Those things they're special. They're really special. So is this, by the way. We had a fan send something in to us, and I thought this was really cool. They sent us this. Rooster Teeth bingo. Isn't that cool? And it's right above the number that you can call and text into. You guys already know that, though. You watch the show. Look at this. I can't remember the name of the fan who sent this into us, but I thought this was really good. Just leave that up there for a second, guys. Let's see how many we can get off. And this person clearly watches the show all the time, talking about a shitty kick attempt.
Oh, we got that.
Check. Coaching changes. Ooh, we're going to have to get into that later today. 76ers win a game. Not quite there on that one.
Yeah, there's some questions about.
Joel shows up.
I'm here.
Hey.
Done. Oh my God.
That's
We've
pretty
almost
impressive.
Three.
Brandon is right about something. Not yet. We're going to get there.
I am right about many things.
We'll talk about that.
We will talk about that. Cole reports from the field. We have that.
We have that.
Panthers, Patriots lose a game. One of them did.
Yeah, they did.
And we're going to have to talk about that later. So thank you so much. We're just going to have to fill this out throughout the show.
That's fantastic.
That is. It's awesome. It's great. So I think another thing we're going to do and we're going to start doing is getting a lot more fan interaction on this show and asking people, specifically like, what do you guys want to talk about? And like, is there something specific within a sport instead of just kind of glossing it over and stuff like that? So we're going to get into that today. We're going to have a few tweets. But before we do, I wanted to get into something really cool.
Do it.
Are you guys excited?
Fucking do it.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know what are we talking about.
You have no idea. All right, so we have the store at Rooster Teeth. It's freaking awesome. It's called the Rooster Teeth store.
Oh.
And today I have with me a tote bag.
Ooh.
You can buy these at the Rooster Teeth store right now. Our holiday sale is over, but we're going to have a lot more cool things coming in. We have blankets. We have these tote bags. This is something totally cool that you can take. It's got a lot of the logos. It's really cool.
That's a good bag to like sneak alcohol into stadiums.
Bag.
Exactly. That's the whole point. And because I'm such a...
They'll never suspect a giant bag.
Giant bag. It's like sub pouches in there for like whiskey.
I have some stuff for you guys.
Oh, do you?
I have... Look at this. Let's see.
Oh, it's full stuff.
We got an Iowa Hawkeye.
Oh, we don't like that.
Oh, we might have to talk about that. There you go, Brandon.
What is this?
We have an electronic football
I used to be good at that.
That's really
this is the technology we had to live with. This is what we had.
Oh, Brandon, I got
Who's
you
on the cover of that?
Oh, Kirk
You
Cousins.
like that? A Kirk Cousins shirt?
Oh, yay.
There you go, buddy.
Thank you.
I already have
This is a
one.
nice guy. And then
This is great. Oh, yeah.
we got some socks
That's gonna be
from
me for me.
a company I'll probably be talking about later, Stance. These
Why
are
doesn't he
Lakers
have-
socks.
Nice. I'm going to take these.
Why are
Lakers
there no
off.
wings?
Hawkeyes don't fly. I don't know if that's a real bird.
They're in Iowa. Birds don't fly in Iowa. They take buses.
And I got an Auburn helmet, and the biggest thing I got is I
Nice.
got a bottle of champagne. 'Cause
Hey.
We're celebrating. You want to know why we're celebrating?
Why are we celebrating? Don't hurt me.
I'm not going to hurt you. We're celebrating because yesterday was kind of a sad day, but in my mind, it was a good one because we get to appreciate the existence, the game of Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant is retiring after 20 years with the Lakers, which is just insane. So I figure we'll bust out some bubbly. We'll celebrate. We'll have a little retirement party.
That works.
Yeah.
Is that cool with you guys?
He
He
came
wrote-
right
he
in the
wrote-
NBA.
the way he
18 years old.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
And the way
Yeah.
he announced his retirement from the NBA is he wrote like a poem.
Did he?
To
basketball, which was like
Right.
so heartfelt.
poem or
It was
haiku?
very.
You got a little dusty in there when I was reading it earlier.
Oh,
Like,
did you?
'cause-
I heard I heard basketball actually wrote him back with another poem.
What was that one, Joel?
I don't know. It was a great setup for a joke. I wish I had a punchline.
I
wish I would have thought that through.
I thought I was setting him up right there, like, "Oh, Joe, what is it?" And
I'm not
then-
as, I'm not as
next
good.
week
I'm not as
for the
good at
rest of the
segues
double
as you
joke.
are.
That's okay. It's okay. Not all of us can be as good.
That guy
as me
scored
with that.
81 points in a game one time.
He did. I mean,
81 points.
You look at his stats. You look at everything he's done. First of all, he's the only NBA player to ever spend 20 years with the same team.
Yeah.
And that's-
which I love loyalty,
Yeah,
which you don't
that-
get in major pro sports at all.
Like you have to think that's like that's not going to happen again, is it? I don't think that's going to happen.
Man, it barely happened. Kobe asked to be traded at one point.
I was in LA
Yeah.
at that
Oh,
point.
shit.
That was
like
before the second round
It was
of
all like a
championships.
political power play between like Kobe and Shaq at the time. It was like, take that, Set. We don't need you.
Oh, I thought that was post Shaq.
I
It
don't
was
know.
kind of like the team
it
was just like there was nobody on the team, and then they started.
the whole time he was there. It was like political, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I swear. You know, it's like you look at like Curry with the Warriors. Thank you. And it's like they have a different head coach this year, right? Like
I think they have
Steve
a
Kerr.
coach subbing in. Luke Walton is subbing
Bill's
in.
son.
I'm
Yeah.
not even sure. Like
That dude is
I'm
dopey.
not convinced that like of all the sports, like coaching in the NBA makes the least sense to me. Like to me, being a coach in the NBA is almost like personality management. It's about
that's
personality
what it is,
management.
and
It's like
such a big deal.
psychology. It's like
You can't-
psychological counseling.
Because you
It's not
can't
X's
tell
and
me
O's.
like the Spurs are the Spurs without Pop.
Yeah,
There's
but
no way.
There's more X's and
That's
O's
true.
in basketball
That's
though.
true,
than,
true with different teams. Yeah, the Spurs are definitely the Spurs because of Greg
I'm like
Popovich.
shitty at pouring
But
champagne.
You
like
really
I-
have don't that much.
I stiff
Getting
you
all over your
guys.
phone. That's all right.
No, that's okay. That's fine.
I mean, it depends on the
Do you want
team
some
and the
more,
offensive
Brandon?
style. Like, I think Rick Adelman was kind of more of like, this is the framework, go out and play. But I think you have a lot of other guys who they have very, very defined executable plays.
Cole, alcohol's not allowed in Cleveland.
Yeah. Actually, can somebody come give this to Cole, please? After we
someone
cheers
has
to Kobe.
go to hell. No, but it's funny. You're right. It depends upon a team by team basis.
It's the style of the coach.
It's the style of the coach. But again, if you compare it to other sports, it has to be the less.
Actually,
like the it's more like.
Baseball
Patrick,
to me, that seems like the least.
Let's give him the whole
that's
bottle
because
because
it's
he's
like
in Cleveland. He needs it.
So much of the game is controlled. It's just one player versus another player. If you're in the National League in baseball, you at least have to manage having a pitcher bat. We won't get into details about it, but
I'm in baseball. You have to manage rotations. And you're like, who's the closer? I don't have a closer.
That
I
to me isn't as hard as coaching
out.
basketball. Like in a basketball game, you have so many different types of matchups within one given team. When you rotate a guy in at any given time, like that to me is complicated. What I think is crazy is
again, if you have a sport where it's like a smaller amount of people on the field or the court, that's less than like the more people you have, the more of a management situation.
I guess it's like, to me, there's 10 guys on a basketball court. In baseball, there's 2. It's a pitcher and it's a hitter.
No, I got to disagree with you on that.
That's exactly at any given time.
No, you're talking
that's
about
what you're focusing on, and you have time.
You're not just focusing on that. You're focusing on shifts and like who's coming up, who's
I know,
there in their
technically you're
rotation.
focusing on more things at
It is a gigantic
once.
chess match going on,
Absolutely.
and you have to be paying attention every single second. It is more. I think it's more of a strategic game than basketball.
I agree completely.
I mean,
you got a guy,
I think
you got a guy
it's
in
so
first, but the guy
contextual.
hits to the other side of the field.
I mean,
Are you going to pitch him
you
in?
talk
Are you going
about
to pitch him
scouting
out?
reports,
Where are you going to
Defensive,
play infielders?
defensive adjustments. I can see
Are you
that.
playing for the
I
double
can see
play?
that. I can
Are
see
you playing
defensive
thing?
adjustments. That
Yeah.
makes sense. In
I think
terms
there's
of
more.
matchups, in terms of pitchers and hitters, I think that's a little overrated. Like bring in the lefty versus just keeping the righty. Another part of it though is now so much of it is just dictated on the statistics that they already know. But when you're in a basketball game,
part of coaching, right?
What I'm saying is like it is a chess match, and in a chess match you have a little bit of time to make each decision as you're calling stuff, right? When basketball, it's so like fast, and any given second you have to call in a different play. Like you have to give like another.
It might be a more fluid game,
They're
but
different games. They're hard to compare, but
I'm in the opinion that managers matter at every single level completely. Like when it comes to basketball, you look at guys like why Scott Brooks didn't work out at OKC. It's because the guy had no idea X's and O's when it came down to the end of a game. Watch Oklahoma City blow more big games or not know how to stop a run. That's why they didn't win a championship. I mean, when they went up against the Heat, I mean, I always thought it was funny, like Westbrook, the next great coming of this amazing player, and he has like what? It sets a playoff record or a final record for like 48 points in a game. They fucking lost. Like Scott Brooks did not know how to manage his team whatsoever. You get a guy like Billy Donovan in, and he's going to change that team. I fully expect them to be a completely different team.
That's the big thing. Maybe this is a better way to say it. I think a coach and an offensive staff, like in a system, will make more difference to players in basketball than a manager in baseball. Replacing an entire coaching staff in basketball, to me, will make a bigger impact on how the team does next year and how the team performs than replacing a manager.
Let me ask you this.
I want to ask you one thing, though. Okay. What's stranger?
What's stranger?
Where are you going with this?
A manager in baseball playing a uniform or a coach in basketball wearing a like finely tailored suit? They're like at two ends of the spectrum.
The suit makes sense to me. The uniform is a little weird. Although you can imagine, like when baseball started, like the history of baseball, like back in the day, it was like
player coaches.
Oh, you got to go in and play.
Well, there were player coaches and stuff too, or player managers.
All right, now it's my question. Okay, what happens first? Warriors lose or 76ers win?
76ers win.
All right. You called it.
And
we'll see if we filled
too,
the bingo.
And like I'm a huge Warriors guy. Like what I said, like this is a team that's going to win multiple championships. They put together what you require for an NBA championship team, which is a team that is in the top complete echelon. And they're going to win multiple champions. Echelon.
You know what's funny is like when people talk about the Warriors and they're the champions, everyone who's watching the NBA that I hear, they're all saying the same thing. It was like it wasn't that the Warriors won, it was that the Cavaliers lost because they were injured. Like everyone has that same story. Everyone's saying, "Oh, well, LeBron was injured." Blah blah blah. I think the Warriors are playing with a chip on their shoulder. I think that they hear that story and are upset about it. I think they could end up with the best season in basketball ever.
They had one of the best seasons.
They're also doing that thing where it's like they're not pulling players out like the Spurs are, right? They're throwing their people out every night. And I think it's great.
I mean, I think that's a reasonable criticism versus last year's team. I don't agree with it. I think they're good enough, but you have to do things for more than 1 year. And then that's how people can tell, all right, this team is legit. And I went through it a couple weeks ago in basketball.
Well,
the teams that win championships are mini dynasty teams. In the last 30 years, each team averages like 3.5
to me, when you win the world
championships.
championship of your sport, you're legit, right? I mean,
What I'm saying is there's way more one-offs in baseball and in football than in basketball. In basketball, there's been like twice where you had one team only win one championship.
Baseball's different because, I mean, the personnel changes every single year. I mean, basketball, you have these guys around for a while. I mean, you look at like the Red Sox 04, Johnny Damon, Hero, and then like 2 years later, motherfuckers are wearing a Yankees jersey.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way it goes. I mean, everybody changes every single year and who you pick up.
Again,
especially
a smaller pool of players in the
yeah,
NBA is going to like, it just means more. Like any one player, like.
So,
Kobe for 20 years.
Let's toast to Kobe for not talking about you at all while toasting for you.
To the Warriors.
Kobe, you have a lot of accomplishments. I think two different teams to win multiple championships. That's a huge feat.
That was an excellent Kobe discussion we just had.
That was the best Kobe discussion of all time.
Great basketball game. Kobe Bryant's basketball back in like 98,
they were talking about when he was a junior in high school.
Game.
When he still had the hair?
When Kobe Bryant was a junior.
When he had the hair?
When Kobe Bryant was a junior in high school, they brought him in and they played a one-on-one match against Stackhouse. And like Kobe demolished Stackhouse.
Yeah.
And Stackhouse was like, wow, what team is he on? He's like, this guy's in high school. Like he was that good back in the day.
Kobe was unbelievable. I mean, there used to be the discussion before LeBron, obviously, like, is Kobe the next MJ? And I've never like really liked that conversation to begin with. Are you mixing Red Bull with champagne?
Yes.
This cost me like $100. It's for Kobe.
Well, how does it devalue it? I imported a
Red
plant.
Bull. You better finish that entire fucking glass.
What makes it? Well, how is it
Because
a difference?
I worked hard to get that.
Were you going to drink it if I didn't finish it without any Red Bull?
Don't dilute it with that. I mean, it's. I
love that we have a show where we put as many liquids on a desk as possible and then start flailing arms around in angry arguments around laptops. That's the best.
How does it taste?
It tastes fine. It doesn't taste any different.
I'm not going to put my coffee with champagne.
Yeah, so I'm just confused. What were we talking about now?
Kobe's great.
Early Kobe was
one
amazing.
thing that I thought was cool on the same subject. You have players saying he was my MJ. And I think some people like scoff at that, but it's like, look, man, it's just an age thing. It's like before
scoffing.
There's some people who just didn't see Michael Jordan play.
Which is a damn shame if you didn't get to see it.
Well, how old are you? I mean, you didn't.
I mean, no, I was old enough to watch it. My dad was really good. And so
how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, I mean, like I started watching in like '99. I was like 12 or 13.
I remember in '96 when they beat the Sonics.
When were you?
All right.
My parents forced me to watch those games.
Tonight,
the importance of them.
I think it's tonight. The Lakers are playing the 76ers.
Yes.
And they were going to have a retirement ceremony for Moses Malone. Really? I'm the only fucking one who watched Moses Malone play. All right?
Yes, you did.
That guy was fucking old. I'm old. That's all I'm saying.
You are, but we're starting to catch up because this is like kids in our generation, like Jeter's gone. Kobe's gone. Like that's weird to me to see these guys leave. Like now I'm feeling what you are, Joel, is old.
It only gets worse.
Yeah, I can tell. So I'm sorry. But
I mean
it sucks.
No, it's fine.
But Kobe's gone. And I don't think he was ever. I just wish, like, when it comes to the NBA conversation, like, just let people be their own thing. Like, MJ is a standalone guy. Nobody will ever touch MJ in my opinion. Kobe is a standalone.
I think LeBron
is a standalone as well.
People are always going to want to rank stuff.
I mean, yeah, people love it. I mean, we're addicted to ranking shit.
Stuff.
I mean, that's all we do is rank.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
To me, it's less about comparing Kobe
job.
or MJ as players and more about accomplishments. I don't think you're ever going to see a player win 6 championships. In 8 years, no less.
No, and Kobe got close. He won 5. And, I mean, do we have I'd hate to do this, but we have to do this. Can we play that video of what Kobe's doing nowadays? Kobe was always known to be the guy. Took the last second shot. He's got to make it every freaking time.
Collecting checks.
Here we go. Kobe! That's why he's got some.
Man,
I feel bad for him.
$25 million a year.
To do that shit. He was 4 or 20 from the field that night. That's bad,
Maybe
man.
23 million a year.
That's paying a lot of money.
You feel bad for the guy because I feel bad. Well, I don't feel that bad, but it's just sort of like, I don't know. Yeah, going in, he wanted to keep playing and he just can't.
Yeah, I feel bad for the kind of stuff they have to do physically, like rehabilitation. Like I think him and a few other guys, Wade, they went to like Germany a few years ago and replaced their blood.
Yeah, that's what Lance Armstrong used to do all the time. Like
it was something, I don't know, it might have been something with their knees. It was something like I read about it and I was like, oh my God.
I'm ready to look into that. We should replace some blood for the show. We should actually be a segment. Let's go to Germany and replace blood.
Can we get that? Yeah, we're going to have to do that. How are we doing on our bingo, by the way?
I have to talk about some football.
We're going to have to
pace
talk
ourselves.
about
How deep
football.
into the show are we? Half an hour? We got stuff we got to talk about.
Yeah, Tyler
talk about how
Ad
Clemson
Reed
sucks.
got that one. Gus wins a fantasy match. That hasn't happened yet. Talk about international sports. We might have to do that. But the one thing I want to do right now is something we talked about earlier is kind of like that Twitter interaction and really go to the fans to have them set a topic. So I want to do that. We're going to do like a tweet topic thing. It's like if you tweet in, we're going to capture it. We're going to put it on the screen and we're going to talk about it.
Here's some right now.
And here's one.
God damn it, Brandon.
Don't take my word
says
for it.
Andrew. Matt says, oh, Tyler's angry. Tyler smash. Here's another one. Damn it, Brandon. What are you talking about?
Specifics.
Here's another one. Melissa.
Specifics.
Brandon ruining the champagne and offending everyone.
Specifics. Brandon's wrong about what? Sorry,
I'm gonna need a thing.
You need to drink more of your red champagne thing you got going on.
Can we talk about the ACC? Can we please talk about
We will talk about the ACC. We will talk about it, but we have to talk to the people.
Talk to the.
This is a show for the people.
I'm really shocked that Brandon could talk so much shit about baseball.
What shit was I talking? I love baseball.
He does love baseball.
I do love baseball.
Can we talk about Brett Favre and Bart Starr hugging it out?
That
says
was
Mark.
that was the gayest thing I've ever seen. Anyways, let's go ahead
Not
and
that there's
play
anything wrong
the
with
tweet
that.
topic. Not that there's anything wrong with that. No, whatsoever. Les Miles, AFC playoff picture, Warriors 76ers. We came on the show last week and talked about Les Miles potentially losing his job. That did not happen. Les Miles stayed at LSU, which was unbelievable if anybody was paying attention to the story.
How long roughly has Les Miles been at LSU?
Les Miles, we figured this out last time. Cole, how long has, figure that out for us again, how long has he been here?
Do they allow facts to be in Cleveland? Are you allowed to do any fact checking in Cleveland?
I believe so.
Or maybe he got there and
He's been there for a long time, right?
I think he probably got there in 2005, maybe. So maybe
I think it was
closer to
2005.
10.
Yeah, he's been there for quite a while. But like
Saban left pretty. They won. They won in like 2000. I think he won in 2000.
Saban won in 2003, 2003, and
Miles
2007.
was in OSU in 2004.
Well, there's obviously that movement where people were unhappy and they were calling for his job, and it's like sort of like when you've been entrenched in the system for so long, and he has been, relatively successful national championship. At what point where you start to have sort of maybe more power than the athletic director? And I don't know. I mean, it's funny. Right after that game, the athletic director for LSU came out and immediately grabbed the mic and was like, "Listen, he's staying, or whatever."
Well, I think it became a story about him being a sympathetic figure across the country, and that people were like, "Why would you be firing a guy like this?" And you look at the accolades on TV all day long, and you hear Les Miles himself just being like, "Unfortunately, it's going to be my last game." Like the guy didn't fight. Like he didn't do anything
He is politically savvy as hell.
He got the sympathy vote going.
He is politically savvy as hell.
How bad would it have been? And once again, we talk about this, and I want to burn fucking schools like Miami and LSU who don't understand how to play the game. It's not about that you're not winning right now, and I get that, but schools like Georgia even, LSU and Miami, when you fire a coach after having a lot of success at your school, what does that say about your school and your program? What the fuck are you asking for?
We were talking about this earlier.
When you fire a coach mid-season like Miami did, who's going to want to come coach for you?
Oh, but I mean, look at the Miami program. Over the last 10 years versus LSU.
You do that to schools, you can handicap them for life.
If I'm like, man, if I go to LSU and I win a championship and I'm one of the higher paid coaches over the course of a 10-year period and they fire me, I'm not going to go to that school. That is not a bad story to have compared to all these other teams.
No, but when you are the program and you set or raise the bar.
We were talking about this earlier, right? And we're talking about the big powerhouse schools, right?
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about right now. And we're talking about from a point, if you're a big powerhouse school, you're obviously going to have to get a big legitimate coach, right?
Yes.
And so those big legitimate coaches, they have leeway, right? And it's like if you want one of these premier coaches, they have to ask themselves that question: do I want to step into a situation where it may not work out for me, and I get to be there for 2 years, right? And it's like they can go somewhere else and have job security because if you're good, you're going to be in demand. So it's that weird balance, right?
I mean, it's also like putting yourself in the position where you're most likely going to have success. Like Gene Chizik went to Iowa State as the head coach. Did really, really poorly. He was the defensive coordinator for Auburn when they won the national championship back in like 2002.
Well, no, he also won the national championship with them in 2011. 2010, excuse me.
As the head coach.
With Cam Newton.
Well, what I'm saying is his first head coaching job was Iowa State. He did very, very poorly. Auburn took a chance and hired him because he was their defensive coordinator at one point when they went undefeated. And he won a championship there as a coach. So why did he do better
with
at
Cam
Auburn
Newton?
with Cam Newton? But that's my point, though. That's why you can go to a bigger program and you could potentially have more likelihood of success.
I'm not talking about what you do
than
right there.
going to some place like you could have more security and a smaller program like Iowa State.
This isn't really for coaches. This is more on the ADs and programs. This is about a program in Miami that still thinks it's the program of the 80s and that they can get anyone. They can't afford as much as the bigger schools.
Why do they think that? Why do you think they think that?
Charlie Strong, who they really wanted, gets paid $5 million a year. Miami can't even sniff that shit as a private university. And what coach in their right mind would go to a program knowing that they could get fired mid-season?
Yeah, but that's Miami. That's not LSU, though. You're comparing two different things.
And I get that. But coaches will wait. They'll look. You look at coaches like Tom Herman,
They'll wait for
who
LSU.
is one of the hottest coaches in the country.
Yeah.
He's going to stay at Houston because the other schools, even as big as they might be, coaches look at that. Like, why would I go there? The recruits do the same shit. Watch them jump off Georgia and LSU's bandwagons now that those coaches are gone. Now that you got rid of Mark Rick at Georgia, who he might have needed to go, but Les Miles, that number one recruiting class wouldn't have stayed number one if he was gone.
How brutal would have that been where you have the number one recruiting class and then you lose your job? That's going to be the worst.
Yeah.
I think that's a whole different question of the myth of the athletic director having power.
Well,
with a lot of schools,
right?
it's the boosters. A lot of schools, the boosters are the ones who are hiring the head coaches. The boosters are the ones that get guys fired. With Les Miles, he had the right stuff work out. He won his last game. Like, so much of that stuff leaked early, but for the most part, it's those boosters who make those calls. And then when you do have a prolonged period of success like LSU does, you can have the best likelihood that you're going to get the best possible coach. Miami's not going to get any coach they want because the program has been in shambles for like 6 or 7 years.
I mean, for me, just as like a person where you saw towards the end of their season and you saw just a completely empty stadium.
Miami?
That has like repercussions where it's just sort of like, I mean, money-wise and just everything else. And like what you're talking about, that school can't compare to the big programs. I wouldn't want to step into that. The only way you're going to be successful at the University of Miami is if you're going to break rules. I'm sorry. That's the only way you're going to be successful. You have to break rules.
That and being able to recruit Florida dominantly. But I mean, with Florida's rise, I think you could probably like correlate Florida's rise with Miami's decline, and then Florida State doing really, really well starting about 5 or 6 years ago. Miami's not dominating the Florida recruiting pool, and that's what they did for a really long time. Like, there was one point where Miami put more players in the NFL than any other team. It was one of the greatest
team of all time in 2001.
That was what was the original coach's name?
No, not Bo Schembechler. It was Howard Schnellenberger.
He came in one season.
Yeah.
Right? And then after that, you had Jimmy Johnson, right?
A few years ago. Right. After that, or it was a few years ago, like back in the mid-2000s, he was coaching at FAU.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he built Miami and then ended up there after the fact, which is crazy. But yeah, Jimmy Johnson and then who else came there? Butch Davis and the rest.
Can we talk about the ACC and how the ACC doesn't actually exist and is a terrible division?
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna completely destroy this argument.
It's not gonna work. Listen, ACC. Okay, Clemson has played one team this year. They played Notre Dame.
Yes.
Right? Now they're facing off against North Carolina, who has lost one game to South Carolina. North Carolina, if you look at North Carolina's schedule, they haven't played anyone either. And I think Clemson's going to win. But now you're already starting to hear it from North Carolina fans. Oh, if we beat Clemson, we only have one loss at the beginning of the season. We should be considered for the Final Four. No, you shouldn't, because you haven't played anyone. You haven't played anyone.
I disagree with that. No. You can't look at it like that.
I'll tell you what. I think Clemson will beat North Carolina. I think Clemson will be in the playoff. Clemson is not winning the national championship. No way.
Just like Florida State couldn't beat a mighty SEC team back in 2012 against Auburn. Because the SEC can't be beaten by anybody, even though when they get their shit pushed in by Toledo, Arkansas, or half the fucking teams in the SEC West that are a joke outside of Alabama, which, by the way, has lost to somebody this year. And then you look at the garbage subdivision that is the SEC East. Do we want to even go into that one?
That is one of the worst divisions.
Oh, but it's the SEC, and we're just from top to bottom. I mean, we play everybody sometimes every 8 years, like Georgia and Alabama do, because of the way that they schedule it. And then don't forget about Cupcake Week in week 9 or 10 when they're playing fucking Chattanooga, because that's how the SEC does it. They load their schedules to make everybody rise and look good in the eyes of the media.
Let's go through each of us individually, right? Just for a second.
Okay, let's do this.
Brandon, who do you have as the final four teams?
I think it's pretty standard. I think Clemson, OU, Alabama and winner of Iowa and Michigan State. I think it's going to be Michigan State because you look at a team that hasn't played anybody, it's Iowa. Like, that to me is the craziest thing schedule-wise. And I think that is the biggest pro argument for the Big 12
I'm gonna say,
and their lack of conference championship.
I'm going to say something.
The Big 12 has had better regular season matchups because they put all the best teams against one another than any of the other conferences.
I'm going to say something provocative and dangerous.
Good.
I agree with Brandon.
God, come on.
Does that count, G?
I agree with
Does that mean if 2 out of 3 thinks he said something right, he gets a bingo square?
Well, we gotta wait. I agree with
specifics with what I'm wrong. That drives me bananas.
No, I agree with your picks. I agree with your picks. I think it's those 4. And
I think those are safe picks. It's like, it's not.
And you were right at the beginning of the season because Baker Mayfield, he's the real deal.
He is the real deal.
And he's a legitimate Heisman guy.
Which really pisses me off. Yeah.
I think OU, I can't say it. I think OU might be the best team in college football.
And who beat them?
Texas.
Which
but
means
that
Texas
makes
is the best
no.
team
If
in
you're
the
a Texas fan, your point of view for things is completely fucked. It's completely skewed because you look at, like, as Texas fans, you watch games.
No, we're not going to have this conversation. We can't. I'm sorry. We can't have this conversation. We don't have a point of view because we got a big dick in our mouth, and that's called everybody else's team with their cocks in our mouth because we suck.
It's just contextually, you see how we play other teams, right? Like, we saw that Oklahoma State game, right?
Yeah, we get on our knees and get ready.
And don't get angry, Booth, but I'm sorry, we beat Oklahoma State. So, like, as a Texas fan, you knew. I mean, I picked Oklahoma State to win last week, and they got demolished.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I think that game against Texas, I wasn't like, oh, Texas good. I was like, man, Oklahoma State is bad. They're average. Right. They're extremely overrated.
But no, anything can happen, and this comes in on the text line, just reminding people about last year, and this is why the playoffs happen, and this is why the playoffs are great, because when the BCS formula was around, you got to have these discussions, and they were never resolved, because you never got to find out who was the best. In the year where the BCS exists, and I told you that a third-string quarterback for Ohio State would beat Alabama, you tell me to get fucked. Well, that happened. Anything can happen. That was the 14 going in.
Anything can happen.
So suppose that Iowa couldn't beat Michigan State and then roll through the playoffs to win the national championship, they could do that.
It could happen.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
It could happen.
God, the thing I would love about that, last thing I'll say about Texas, if Iowa wins a national championship, that means the guy that all of Texas fans pinned the blame on for the team's decline, Greg Davis, the former offensive coordinator, wins a fucking national championship.
And you look at all 4 of those teams. Let's suppose it's these 4 teams right here. And everybody's just assuming right now that Alabama's going to be the winner in the bunch. You look at Clemson, they really haven't played anybody, but they're probably the most balanced team, but they haven't seen premier talent. You look at Alabama, the only thing on their team is Derrick Henry. The rest of it sucks. You're not that good. If you want to question me on that, go back to the Ole Miss game, okay? When you look at Oklahoma, you lost to the worst team in the country. And you look at a team in Iowa that I think could win that game, they could beat any one of those teams. Any one of those teams. To say that all those teams, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Clemson couldn't lose to a team like Iowa is crazy.
You've seen better teams lose to worse teams in the past. Like, I think who you lost to is way less important than
the way that you're playing right now.
Who won, or who are the teams that you've beaten. That to me is infinitely more valuable than, like, well, the team that they played or they lost to is way better than the team that this other team lost to. It's relevant.
Michigan State is about to play, or I was about to play one of the best teams in the country, Michigan State, a team that probably shouldn't have lost to Nebraska, probably should be undefeated, and probably should be the number 1 team in the country. Mm-hmm. They can, and if they beat Michigan State, that's the only one victory they have. Who is Alabama's marquee victory, anyone? Who the fuck has Alabama played?
Well, you know.
No. Who has Alabama played?
When you talk to me, and this is wrong, but when you talk to me about Alabama,
what is their big marquee victory for Bama?
I cannot help but look at them beyond just this year. I look at them in a view of, like, the last 2 years or last 3 years.
Exactly.
That's how I view Alabama.
And that was the problem with the BCS that got factored in. That always did. That's why Oklahoma would go to the national championship even after losing to K-State in 03, because there's just that perception of Oklahoma, right?
I just think
the same with SC or the same with Oregon or whatnot.
I just think with the playoff system, and you talked about this earlier, how you get a lot of upsets during championship week, and that's true. I wonder if we're going to start having that sort of pushed out into the playoffs now. I wonder if with the playoff system now, I wonder if we're going to start seeing the teams that are truly better actually respond during championship week, and I think we're going to start seeing those upsets pushed into the playoffs rather than in championship week, because it's a different structure now. I think people are thinking about it differently. And it's funny, you watch some of the interviews going on with some of the Clemson players right now, and that's what's sort of tipping my hand, where it's just sort of like they are satisfied They are satisfied. They were interviewing the defensive end. He's like, yeah, we're great. We're Clemson. We're just great. I'm like, that's not going to work. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like the computer rankings. I think they're super, super cool, super valuable. One of the ones, Collie Matrix, the thing that they look at is statistically best win or most valuable win for a team. And they'd have the win against LSU for Alabama as their best win.
So the win against the team that lost 3 straight games and wanted to boot their coach, that's Alabama's marquee victory. Mm-hmm. Not Michigan State, who beat last year's national champ, or Michigan, or are going on to the Big Ten championship. I just want people to think about that. It doesn't make it right or wrong, but I'm sick and tired of the fucking SEC. Or it used to be conferences back in the day when it was the Big 12 and everybody just supposed Oklahoma was the best, or the Big 10.
Yeah.
It'll happen where you get conditioned.
All we're doing, and it's a good thing, is we're pushing the debate where it used to be who's going to be in the championship game. Now we're pushing the debate down. We need to keep we need eight teams. How much time do we have left in this show? I need to talk about a clavicle.
Okay, let's talk about a clavicle because, all right, we'll move on from the college conversation. Maybe we'll come back to it next week. I'm sure we will.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Championship week.
Championship week. So also one of the other big things, I mean, the NFL is huge. We already talked about Browns and Ravens. Patriots, Broncos was a gigantic game. But I want to get to your clavicle. So we have to talk about Panthers, Cowboys. Few things happen. First of all, Cam Newton might be the MVP this year. The way that guy is playing, I know his stats might not say it. That guy, Panthers might be the best team in pro football.
Yeah.
And not only that, he's a really good dancer, and he wears really cool shoes. Do we have a picture of his shoes? The shoes are freaking sweet, man. Those shoes are awesome. It's him doing the dab. You know the dab? I don't know how you do the dab. It's like this.
I will never have, no matter what I accomplish in life, enough confidence to wear an article of clothing that has a picture of myself on it.
I mean,
I don't know what that says about me.
I don't know. You know what?
As a person,
they looked really good, but what would have made them look better was a pair of my Stance socks. My Stance socks would have looked amazing with Cam Newton. And you can get Stance socks right
good
now.
At that. Jesus.
And one of the cool things that's happening, I don't have them with me right now, but you're going to see them soon, possibly. There's some Joel's LA ones. I'm wearing my red ones today.
I broke them.
Don't break the socks. You can't break them though.
Can't break them.
You can't break them. They're quality. They just came out with their Star Wars line. You can wear Stormtroopers on your feet, Chewbacca on your feet, Jabba the Hutt, Princess Leia, Luke, Darth Vader, not Jar Jar Binks, and everybody else. They're freaking awesome. I don't have them yet, but I do have these on today. See these? See these shoes?
Nice.
These are my new shoes.
Are they? They're very nice.
With my new Stance socks. See?
I was wondering, are you pimping the shoes or the socks?
Well, I wanted to pimp the shoes because I'm pretty proud. Like, I've got custom ones that are the color of the show, and they say Sportsball on them.
That's awesome.
You can't buy those anywhere.
Stance socks are the only socks that you can knit together and turn them into a scarf.
Yes.
So you think Carolina is one of the best teams, maybe the best team in the NFL?
I do.
I was looking at their schedule, and they don't have any good they have barely one good win this season. Like, they've had an unbelievably easy schedule. So how is this team just as good?
No. You cannot
they're playing
compare.
the NFC East. They're playing the NFC East versus the AFC South. That's their schedule this year. NFC East, AFC South.
Which
along with their own division.
Suck ass. But
that's my point.
No, I get that. That's fine, point. But it doesn't matter because the margin between great and good and everything else in the NFL is so slim. So slim. A team that is 6-5 could easily be 8-4 just by a field goal or one play.
You don't think a team in college football that's like 10-1 could be 9-2?
They beat the Seahawks. They beat the Packers.
They beat the Packers, yeah.
Those are legit teams.
Those are very good teams. Those are teams that are
Seahawks
could
are
make it to the postseason.
6-5, man.
Right now they're
Packers,
going to the postseason.
They're a good team. So are the Texans, man.
No, I'm just.
I'm saying, I just think you look at who someone beats, right? I don't think it matters what sport. You look at who they beat. That's how good they are. If you look at they're playing the two worst divisions in football, so there has to be some kind of asterisk in how you're evaluating them.
You look at the football from top to bottom. Nobody is really doing that good. Hell, half of the AFC East, except for like 3 teams, are all like almost 500 or one game above.
Why are the Panthers better than the Patriots?
1, they're healthy. 2, they have a great defense. Maybe they aren't playing the toughest teams as you'd like to think, but neither are the Patriots. Neither are the Patriots. They play in the AFC East where it's like, I mean, death taxes and the Patriots winning the fucking AFC East. Nobody plays there. Miami is a joke. The Jets are a joke. The Bills are, sorry, Buffalo. You already know you're a joke. You guys are drunk every weekend up there smashing tables because you're like WWE fans. You seen that shit?
I have not.
They go fucking crazy. Google Buffalo fans drunk. You'll have a good chunk of time to hang out.
This I'll tell you what, Brandon. Here's a site. I'm not going to tell you the site, but they have the ranked hardest schedules in the NFL, and the Panthers are in the bottom third. So I don't know.
I'll also say the Panthers have the third lowest points against opponents of undefeated teams, but they still beat everybody who they played.
According to Jeff Sagarin, the Panthers have the 30th hardest strength of schedule in the NFL, and maybe they're the best team. I guess I'm more obsessed with your obsession with college football and how it's all about the strength of schedule, but not the pros. Doesn't make any sense.
No, because for the pros, it's just they're both win and you're in. But I think when it comes to the NFL, when you're looking at an undefeated Houston and you're looking at an undefeated Alabama, we're talking about two different fucking things.
I agree.
I think when you're looking at an undefeated Patriots and Panthers, how different are those teams really? I mean, obviously, you can go down the list. And you can name personnel.
There's one thing between Houston and Alabama, but if we're comparing, Alabama to Clemson, those two teams are
Brandon,
a lot closer.
you did make some comments earlier in the year about just sort of plugging in players into their system, and we're going to find out with the Patriots because, man, they have so many injuries. Gronkowski's going to be out for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how the replacement tight end
There was
does.
an interview with Terrell Owens earlier today, and there's I may come. Maybe the Patriots might need.
The Patriots
are
definitely
they going to get to the point where they bring Terrell Owens? Holy crap!
I know if they do, he's going to have fucking 1,000 yards.
Again, they have the Patriots ranked in the lower third again. Easy schedule. I want to talk about Tony Romo's clavicle.
Yes,
and I'm very upset about this because I was going to
this.
make a very legit joke last week before his season-ending injury about only 5 days left till Romo has a season-ending injury, and he did it. And listen, if you look. He broke his clavicle. This is the third time he's broke his clavicle in the same place, right? And
his vagina.
It happened. I can't remember when it happened initially. A couple seasons ago, last season, and then the second time was earlier this season. And if you look at that hit that Romo took, it was the most casual, everyday hit that you see a million times during an NFL season. You see that hit a million times. All that happened was he fell on his side.
Yeah.
And it's now he's fallen. And guess what happened in football? Romo fell on his side again. Mm-hmm. And what happened? His clavicle broke in the same exact place. There was another NFL player, a lineman a couple of years ago, who broke his clavicle. And it was out for the entire season, the entire offseason, and came back for one game and broke his clavicle in the same place. I don't know what the deal is when you break a clavicle. That's it. It's going to always break in the same place. I don't know if we're ever going to see Tony Romo as good as he was. You cannot take a hit
not
that
according
casually.
to Jerry Jones. I mean, Jerry was adamant about he's got more damn years left, 5 or 6.
Yeah,
That's
he
fine.
came out.
Here's
it
the
the
problem.
part?
Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
Is it the part, or is it just he just probably felt really, really pressured to come back and save the season for the fans?
I'm sure he did.
Is it really just an issue of not being ready?
But that wasn't the case the second time.
Hold on. It's both things. Hold on. It is because, yes, he felt pressure to come back because the Cowboys don't have an answer at quarterback. You have to develop players and you have to draft. You cannot pin your hopes and dreams on one player no matter who they are. Take notes, motherfuckers, from teams like the Packers, and for a team that just beat the Patriots without Peyton Manning, Denver had an answer. Now, I'm not trying to say that Brock Osweiler is going to be like the next Peyton Manning or anything.
Man,
you heard it here first.
You didn't know how bad
Peyton
Peyton Manning was for the Broncos until he was out.
Exactly. Yeah. And look at what they've had. They've had Brock there for a few years out of ASU. He's a big, tall guy.
6'8".
I'm not saying he's that great, but he's been there. He's been developed.
Yeah.
What the hell have the Cowboys been doing should Tony goes down? What happens if Brady goes down? You look at some of these quarterbacks around the league and a lot of these teams, it's like, what happens if this one guy goes
there in salary cap, right? Where it just sort of, you gotta I
get that, but look at what the Packers could have gone through a lull that you see teams go through for almost 15 or 20 years. Cowboys, looking for the next answer at quarterback. They answered that with Aaron Rodgers. They didn't play him right away. They developed him. They let him learn from one of the best. Why haven't the Cowboys been doing the same thing with Tony Romo? Call him what you will. I don't know if he's ever going to be a legend or elite, but that guy's a great fucking quarterback, and the Cowboys are a playoff team when he plays.
There was no one there.
That's bullshit.
Was it Quincy Carter?
There's been tons of fucking players.
Tony Romo's learning from Quincy Carter.
No, Quincy Carter was there when Quincy did coke, and then he was gone.
Yeah.
My point being is that the Cowboys have had infinite amount of time to get an answer at the quarterback position besides Tony Romo.
It's not easy, man.
I know it's not easy, but
know.
that's horseshit.
And it's like you draft a guy, you draft like an elite quarterback, your quarterback can be like, what the fuck?
If I'm a general,
No.
if I'm a general manager and I have a limited number of chips and I have an elite quarterback, I'm probably putting those chips in other places. I'd rather bet a bunch of a good offensive lineman to
if you're
protect.
Jerry Jones
like a
and
fifth round pick on a quarterback,
I'm not
you can't
saying,
get a first rounder.
No, I'm not saying burn a first rounder on him, but what I will say
But the Packers did.
is that,
Aaron Rodgers was a first round pick, wasn't he?
yes, he was.
they burned one.
Well, they needed a quarterback.
Well,
they had to get a quarterback.
But they had him for like
Regardless.
3-4 years.
Oh, there he is. Oh no, look, he's falling on his side. Oh, not that side, Tony. Not that side. It's the same side. Why? Don't fall on the same side.
Fall on your head.
Fall on your head.
Fall on your
Fall on
head.
your face. Don't fall on your shoulder. Oh my God, why would you do that? You know, luckily, we've sent Cole out to interview an expert on this. Now, Cole, you actually have Romo's clavicle.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. He doesn't have a clavicle. I wish we
No,
had
I
a
will say
clavicle
though,
to interview so
I'm looking
badly.
it up, and the clavicle is the most commonly rebroken bone.
Is it?
Oh, wow.
How much in our budget do we have for a clavicle puppet?
Nothing.
Nothing,
it.
says the booth. All right, we have to get to the Pitlo picks before we get out of here today. I wish we could have talked about Robert Flores, but that's okay. We'll save it for another day. It was going to be a very...
That was going to be we were going to have a dance off.
It was
going to
that. It was going to be a debate for sure. We'll have to get into that some other time. But we got to get to our picks as we always do to end the show. Jack is usually here to do them. So I fucked up his name.
What happened
the
to
Pitlo
Jack?
picks. I don't know.
He got injured in his fantasy football.
Oh,
he was the
that's
only
what it
fantasy
was,
football
yeah.
participant to do so badly, he actually injured himself.
Yes, he did. It's good to see you, Joel. I love you, dude. All right, let's get to these picks. All right, so as we said before, college football, huge championship weekend going on. So we have Michigan State versus Iowa, Big Ten championship. What do you guys got?
Michigan State.
You know what? I want to believe that a team like Iowa could come out of nowhere.
fly.
Can come out of nowhere, not be one of the elite programs, and win. So I'm going to take Iowa on a hope.
On a hope? Okay, I like that. We'll take Michigan State, Iowa. I am going to believe in what I saw last week. I don't think my curse can touch this whatsoever. I think Michigan State looked fucking amazing against Penn State. It was the first week that Connor Cook was back. He looked great. He looked sharp. Defense looked amazing. They were on point. Running game was there.
You're looking at the dark horse national champion.
I think they.
I agree.
I thought they were going to be a national championship before the Nebraska loss. I mean, that was the really weird one.
I agree, but I have hope.
All year long,
I think
I've
they
been
look so
holding
good,
back
man.
because I wasn't sure about things, and we're getting to that point of the year where I'm getting that Vegas feeling. And this would be like the first pick where I'm like, okay, I would put money down on Michigan State.
All right, let's get the next one. The conference that Joel loves so much and respects is the ACC.
It doesn't
the
exist.
ACC, number 1 Clemson versus number 14 North Carolina.
Oh wait, Cole has a
sorry,
pick.
Cole. My bad, Cole. What's yours?
I'm taking Iowa.
See, when you're in Cleveland,
Iowa.
we just can't even. It's like you don't exist.
Brandon's taking Iowa too.
Iowa.
All right, Michigan State for the guys who get it right.
You
Here
keep
we go.
track
Cole, what do you think of
Yeah,
Cole?
I
What
keep
do you,
track of them, all of them.
Cole, what do you think of Clemson, North Carolina?
Clemson.
Clemson.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Brandon,
I will absolutely take Clemson.
Clemson. Joel.
I'm going to say if the ACC actually existed, I would pick Clemson. But it doesn't. It only exists in basketball.
Clemson. All right.
It pisses me off that Notre Dame is not in the stupid conference.
Half
Half their games are against the ACC. Get in the fucking
I
conference.
agree.
It's just a thing.
I
with
agree.
them. They're a weird deal. They have their own TV network. Everybody's been courting them forever. The Big
Notre
Ten is
Dame doesn't have
always-
their own network.
NBC.
They have NBC.
NBC.
They have
It's God's network. They run God. That's Notre Dame.
I don't like it.
I'm going with the upset right here. This is the end of Clemson's season. This is it. North Carolina is going to win this game and send this entire thing into chaos. I couldn't believe it last year when nobody lost a championship game. Oregon didn't lose. Ohio State didn't lose. Alabama didn't lose. Who's the other one I'm forgetting about? Who did I mention? Oregon, Ohio State, Alabama, Florida State.
It doesn't matter.
Nobody lost their conference championship game. That never happens.
I would agree.
This is the one.
I would agree with you if the ACC existed, but it doesn't.
It does not. So North Carolina. All right. So the next one is number 12, Florida. Number 2, Alabama, the SEC championship. Cole, who do you got?
Sadly, Bama.
Bama.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Sadly, Bama.
Bama.
I mean,
Joel.
if I had to pick an upset, I would rather pick Florida than North Carolina.
Wouldn't you rather pick Iowa? That'd be a great story.
They don't know. They have no schedule.
What do they got going on?
Fuck, I'm picking Florida.
You're picking Florida? That a boy. And so this is where I would pick a team, and this team usually loses if I make this pick. So I'm picking Bama for fucking sure on this one. All right, and so one of the bigger basketball games, because we celebrated Kobe, I took your pen. I have to write these things. I have to write them down.
Cross it out.
What are you crossing out?
Let's not fight about this.
All right, we won't fight about this. We're not in the ACC. All right, Lakers 76ers. That is 2-14 versus 0-18 in the NBA. Who's going to win this one? Cole?
Lakers. I think Kobe's gonna Kobe.
Okay, Brandon?
I guess I will take the upset. I'll take the 76ers,
taking the upset?
I guess.
Joel?
I'm taking the Lakers.
Of course you are. That a boy. And I'm taking Lakers because Kobe's going to go ham and score like 90. It's going to be amazing. All right, and last one, hockey game, Dallas, Calgary. We're going to stick with the Stars.
We got screwed last
Yeah, what
week.
are we going to do? Are we going to curse them again?
I'm picking the Stars.
Stars? Okay. Brandon?
I'm not going to cross B-Dunk. I'll take Calgary.
You're going to take Calgary? Cole?
Stars.
Stars? All right, I'm taking Calgary. I got a friend. She really likes them, so hopefully they do good. And you guys thought I was going to forget. I didn't forget. I saved it for last this time. So to send you guys out and just to kind of peace out. No, you don't get any more presents. We're going to do that segment that everybody really likes. It's called Fuck You, Tyler.
Suck it, Pitlo. Panthers #1, baby. Roll out for the season. Oh, and fuck you, Tyler.
Hey, Joel, fuck you. And Tyler, go fuck yourself with a 2x4.
Hey, Tyler, you fuckface. I'll have you know that the only reason we set our river on fire is to keep them motherfuckers from Kentucky out. Fuck you.
Tyler, stay the fuck away from anything in Minnesota, or I'm gonna crawl inside of you and make you my meat puppet, bitch. Fuck you.
Fuck you, Tyler Co. Sitting here saying Ohio sucks. You can suck my Buckeyes. OHIO. Fuck you, Tyler Co. Hey, Tyler, I don't even watch sports, but fuck you.
You fucking midget riding a unicorn. You got Tony Romo hurt, and I couldn't be fucking happier. The fucking Cowboys are assholes. Also, fucking Joe Heyman, fuck you for fucking the Irish. I'll stick a fucking potato up your fucking ass. Fuck you.
God damn it, Tyler Co. You broke Romo's collarbone again. You need to put your Spurs and Ashley chaps back on and go back to the midget wrestling where you came from.
Fuck you, Jack and Joel, and fuck the Cowboys. Panthers for the Super Bowl.
Boomer fucking sooner. Fuck you, Tyler. Fuck you, Tyler. We were 10-0. We were doing perfect. But then you and your dumb, short penguin mouth had to go and say something about the Patriots. Fuck you.
Fuck you, Tyler. I bet you're one of those guys that has a good-looking dick, but it smells weird, you fuck short bitch.
Kristaps Porzingis is a god. Fuck you, Tyler.
Hey, Tyler. It's me again. I have the herpes. Talk about Rajon Rondo, man. Fuck Achievement Hunter. Funhaus rules. Fuck you, Tyler Co., you Buckeye-loving piece of shit. Why the fuck did you pick Michigan to fucking win, you cursed bastard? Spoiler alert, Jesus dies in the end. God damn it, Tony Romo. Fuck you, Tyler. Oh, we don't give a damn about fucking Tyler Co. Fucking Tyler Co. Fucking Tyler Co. We don't give a damn about fucking Tyler Co. From we're from Ohio. Fuck you.
Very musical.
And that's going to be it for Sportsball this week. We will see you guys next week, and we're going to have a lot more to talk about. Championships, hockey, maybe even some soccer. So
ACC doesn't exist.
ACC does not exist. See ya.